Uspap Page 84. Advisory Opinion 11, R 11, Communication by the Appraisal Standards Board, ASB, does not establish new standards or interpret existing DARDs. Advisory opinions are issued to illustrate the applicability of appraisal standards in specific situations and FFER advice from the ASB for the resolution of appraisal issues and problems. BJECT. Content of the Appraisal Report Options of Standards Rules 2-2, 8-2, and 10-2 to the power of 9E issue, and Appraisal Report Options. What information should be contained in each type of report? Plication, real property, personal property, intangible property and DARDs Rules 2-2, 8-2, and 10-2 of the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice, USPAP, offer 2 advice from the ASB on the issue. Event USPAP and advisory references under Standards Rules 2-2, 8-2, and 10-2, an appraiser may communicate the results of the appraisal in one of 2 options: Appraisal Report, Standards Rules 2-2, 8-2, and 10-2, or Restricted Appraisal Report, Standards Rules 2-2, B, 8-2, B, and 10-2, B. Standards Rules 2-2, 8-2, and 10-2 require that the report prominently state which option is used. Under Standards Rules 2-2, 8-2, and 10-2, the main differences between the 2 options are in 3 areas. An appraisal report may have the client as the only intended user but may also have other intended users, while a restricted appraisal report must have the client as the only intended user. 2. In an appraisal report, specified parts of the research and development must be summarized. In a restricted appraisal report, those aim parts need only be stated. 3. An appraisal report requires the appraiser to summarize the information, the lies, and the reasoning that supports the analyses, opinions, and conclusions, while a restricted appraisal report does not have this requirement. Accordingly, a restricted appraisal report must include a prominent restriction that limits the use of the report to the client and warns that the rationale for how the appraiser arrived at the opinions and conclusions set forth in the report may not be understood properly without additional information in the appraiser's work file. End statement of option used. Ominent statement of which option was used is a label that indicates to the reader how the appraisal is D. Therefore, the statement should appear at or near the beginning of the report. Eve Appraisal Reports. The prominent statement of which report option is used could appear with the statement intended use of the appraisal, because the decision on which report option to use is primarily related to the D use of the appraisal. For added prominence, a statement of the report option used could also appear on any GE or transmittal letter, if part of the report. Appraisal Reports. The prominent statement of which report option is used could appear in the margin at the 2nd of the form. Appraisal Report and the Restricted Appraisal Report both require, at a minimum, the appraiser to state items V, X, and she listed in the Standard Rules 2-2 and 8-2, and summarized below. Standard Rule 10-2 is ALSed below in a separate chart. 3 of the remaining items, E, V, and X, mainly differ by a single word: appraisal report utilizing summarize, and restricted appraisal report utilizing the word state. Remaining item, V, in the appraisal report option requires the appraiser to summarize the information, he appraisal methods and techniques employed, and the reasoning that supports the analyses, opinions, science. Under item V, for a restricted appraisal report, the appraiser must state the appraisal methods UES employed, state the value, opinions, and conclusions reached, and reference the work file. Under Appraisal Report and the Restricted Appraisal Report, the exclusion of the Sales Comparison Approach, CH, or Income Approach must be explained. Under Item 2-2, AX. An appraisal report must summarize DS Rules 2-2, 8-2, and 10-2. See also Related Advisory Opinion 12. Use of the Appraisal Report Options of Standards Rules 2 Advisory Opinions 2018-2019 The appraisal found